name is Darlene. Welcome to Stand Strong, a fun, educational, inspirational, and motivational show about people overcoming life's obstacles. Hello, welcome to Stand Strong. I'm your host, Darlene Luth, and with me is my wonderful friend and co-host, Melissa. Welcome, Melissa.
Hello, everybody.
Today's show is going to be a very emotional, fun, and exciting show. At this time, I would like to bring attention to the slippers that I'm wearing in honor of our guest today. And if you would, this is the symbol of the Sarah's Joy Cancer Foundation that I am the Queen Ambassador for. And I'm wearing these in honor of our guest, Miss Charlie Alejandro. And at this time, if you would, I'd like to bring attention to the crown that is on our set. I am the Queen Ambassador of the Sarah Joy Foundation, as I mentioned, and that is my crown and sash. At this time, I am very honored to introduce our very special guest, Miss Charlie Alejandro. Welcome, Charlie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Melissa and I were very, very flattered that you decided to come and do the show.
Absolutely.
Well, I was honored that you guys would have me on.
Oh, thank you. If you would, could you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself? Before you start, could you explain your sash and beautiful crown to our viewers?
Thank you. This is actually the Petite Elite Mrs. Pennsylvania title with today's American Woman. I received the title earlier this year. And
Congratulations.
Then, thank you. And then in 2 weeks I will be going to nationals to compete for the national title with my daughter, because she is the Miss Petite married division.
Cheers to that. We
very nice. Yes, congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
That's wonderful.
So the two of us will be going down there to compete in South Carolina.
That is wonderful.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
very exciting.
We've never done anything like that together before, so it'll be exciting to do that.
Nice, nice. So that you are here representing Petite Elite Mrs.
Yes,
Mrs. because you are married.
Yes. And today's American Woman, one of the things that is really big is our platform, and my platform obviously is cancer awareness and being an advocate for yourself as far as your medical treatments and making sure that your voice is heard in your choices when it comes to such medical treatments that you might need.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you on that. And it's wonderful to have women like you out there, you know, letting the people know and the viewers and any platform, any place that you can go and talk about cancer, because it's very important. And it's one of the reasons that we are here today. Because of it. I would actually like to, if I could bring up #1 picture for a moment. And Charlie, can you tell us about this very special picture that's coming up right now?
This is actually my second son, Eric, and that is his wife, Sarah. That's on their wedding day. They were married in 2007, and in 2008 they welcomed their first son, Eric Jr. We call him Tiki because my son said he's his tiki torch, the light of his life, and the nickname has stuck. And then Sarah had a second child in 2010, and that was Tony.
Wow.
Now, if you would, we're all here to talk about the Sarah Joy Foundation and to talk about the life of a wonderful young woman that we just showed the picture of. If you would tell our viewers a little bit about Sarah and how the Sarah's Joy Foundation came about, and if you would explain the sash and crown that we have on table, and so the viewers can get a better idea of what the Sarah Joy Foundation represents and Sarah's life and the mission statement of the foundation, if you would.
Well, Sarah had originally been diagnosed with cancer when she was young. She was 12 years old. She had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh, my goodness.
And she made a full recovery that time.
Yes.
But one of the things they told her was because of the treatment, it had to be so aggressive that they figured she was going to be sterile and was never going to have any children.
Okay, yeah.
Sarah and my son were best friends for the longest time. They met when they were 15. And he got to a point where he's like, Mom, I really want to date this girl, but I don't want to mess it up because we're best friends. I'm like, go for it. Right. So they started dating at 21 and got married. So he was kind of okay with the fact that they weren't going to have biological children, that they were going to adopt. So needless to say, when she got pregnant with Eric Jr., they were over the moon.
Blessed.
Yes,
blessed.
Very blessed. And less than a year and a half later, she was pregnant with Tony.
Wow.
Unfortunately, 2 months after Tony was born, I had gone down to Pennsylvania to help her out with Tony. And she says to me, I have this lump on my breast. And my heart just sank because I could feel it, you know, when it gets to that point. So I'm like, you have to go see a doctor right away. And she calls her doctor. Her doctor's like, well, we can see you. This was in May. He's like, well, I have an appointment in July. And I'm like, absolutely not.
Unacceptable.
And no, you have to get seen now. Luckily, her sister is a research doctor. So she was able to get her in within 3 days. And that's basically when our world just turned upside down. She was diagnosed with stage 4.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and at that point, the doctors, their way of being, I guess, keeping it real is basically go home, get your affairs in order, and just get everything you can out of life. Because they told her she was lucky if she'd have 3 or 4 months.
And how old was Sarah when she was diagnosed?
She was 30 when she was diagnosed.
And she was carrying her second child when she found out?
Well, no, she had already had him. And there was suspicion that maybe the tumor had been there before she had him. And you know, the mother's intuition, I think, in a way, Sarah was like afraid to go get checked because she thought they might terminate the pregnancy.
Right, and she couldn't have that happen.
No, she was just so wanted to be a mom more than anything. And that's what she did. So anyway, it was a whirlwind from there. She went into, you know, had a full mastectomy, the full surgery, and one day it hit her. She's like, they're telling me to live my life to my fullest, but I'm in and out of hospitals. I'm only in the doctor's office. I'm constantly away from my family. So she decided to live life on her terms, and that's when we started doing as many family getaways as we could. We went to the shore in Maryland. She went jet skiing.
Nice.
Got my son to go parasailing because he's afraid of heights.
Wow.
We just did as much as we could in the time that she was. I mean, Sarah was so amazing that literally a week before she passed away, she was in the gym working out on a treadmill.
Wow.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's how she was. And when she passed away March 16th, 2012. My son said, I have 2 choices. I can either really hate everyone and hate God and hate the world, or I can try to get something positive out of this. And Sarah was the most positive person. I told Darlene, if you meet her an hour later, you'd be making plans for lunch, because that's how she was. She adopted everybody. Everybody was family. She was just that person, the person you went to for counsel, the person you went for advice, because she would keep it real. She's like, I love you.
Right, but
you're wrong. You need to apologize. Or I love you, but you need to get on track because it's your own fault that you're in that situation.
Right.
So my son decided to start the Sarah Joy Foundation, and the focus was, at first we focused on wanting to help people pay some of the bills that weren't covered, because that was
it can be astronomical.
Yes. The debt my son was left in was astronomical, even with the fact that he did have good health insurance, but the prices were ridiculous.
Yes.
Then we got into these people are stuck in hospitals, they're away from each other because, the patient is sick, she can't see her kids. I remember one time Sarah wanted to see the boys so bad, and they're like, well, no, because they might make the other patient sick. So it was literally, we sprung her out of the hospital for an hour so she can sit in the van with the kids. So that's where we came up with trying to get them to get away for a while, whether it was a day trip, a baseball game, granting them a wish.
Now, was Sarah a part of putting together the foundation, or was she too ill at the time?
She said to me one day, and it was shortly, maybe in January. Actually, it was February, because I had gotten this thing into me that everybody had to come down to Pennsylvania for her birthday, which was February 25th. And she said to me, I have to believe that something good is going to come out of this. She says, whether I get well or not, I have to believe something really good is going to come out of this. And she always talked about wanting to pay it forward and be able to share what she loved about life, which was living. She just loved life. She was the type that she'd be up at 7 in the morning, throwing the shades open, and you're sitting there going, "Oh my Lord, please, woman, let's bake muffins." I'm like, "Let's not. I want to go back to sleep." And she was like that. So she did. She did say what she wanted. She didn't specifically say in a foundation, but she wanted to make sure that something good came out of it. And my son Eric felt that in order to honor her legacy and for people to never forget what an amazing person she was, that he wanted to start the foundation in her name. So a year to the date after she passed, because he said, "I need the support." He's like, "I cannot be alone on that day."
Right.
We threw the first fundraiser.
Yep.
And I remember we were looking, I wanted to incorporate the pageant world into it, because one of the things that I learned, when you are a title holder, if Charlie Alejandro knocks on your door and say, "Oh, can I get $5 for cancer research?" You're like, "Yeah, who are you?"
Right.
Crown and sash.
Absolutely.
"Oh, sure. Where do I sign up? Let me get a picture with you." It's just because there's a little bit more, not so much prestige, but there's a little bit of a trust issue now because of the fact that, okay, you are someone that is affiliated with someone. You're not just taking my $5. So we felt that that was going to be important for us, and we wanted someone that would be a personification of what Sarah was. And just from seeing her Facebook post when she was going through it, I said to my son, "We have to have this woman be the first one."
Right.
And I remember I said to him, "Well, can we have her sing?" And my son's a musician. Most of his friends are musicians, and he's like, "Well, is she any good?" He's like, "Because we're not going to have someone like howling at the fundraiser, scaring everybody else."
People can't sing and they think they can. So,
right.
yes.
So I asked her, I was like, "Hey, do you have a YouTube or anything?" And she had one, and my son's like, "Whoa."
Yes.
We totally have to have her. So I talked to her on the phone, and I said, "We'd love to have you at the fundraiser." I didn't tell her why.
Right.
But I did specifically ask her. I was like, "Do you like surprises?" She's like, "Oh, I love surprises." I'm like, "Yes,
she does.
yes,
Which
we're
she
totally
does.
going to surprise her."
Yes.
So yeah, she came to the fundraiser. She was our guest of honor, which she didn't know, and then we crowned her that night, and we got her a gift package from Surefire Studios in Lowell. Brendan Brady and Jared run it, and the gift was to have her record her own original song in a professional studio, professionally mastered, and she could do whatever she wanted with it.
Which is, as some of you probably already know, is the song that's on the opening and the closing of this wonderful show.
Yeah,
and you can get it on iTunes.
iTunes, yes.
iTunes.
And for us, when I heard it, because she's like,
exciting.
"This is the song that I did," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's just perfect."
It
just talks about us as a people in Boston, Sarah as a person, her as a person, because I repeated constantly, and she knows, I said, if I had ever had to go through anything that Sarah went through, I would have been in the corner like, "Leave me alone, I hate you all, don't talk to me." And meanwhile, this woman's over there, just got out of the hospital for chemo, and she's like, "Let's go bake some cookies, and let's go to the park, and I want to go do a walk." And I'm like, okay. I can't say I'm too tired because, you know, she was such a great example to everybody.
Right.
When the Sarah Joy Foundation, Charlie and her family crowned me, I was totally shocked. And for the rest of my life, I'm honored, and I will represent that foundation and Sarah's life and her memory with much pride. The crown and the sash all is, when I put that on, Sarah's with me. And the Stand Strong show and the song and the title, it all has Sarah's wings. It all has to do with Sarah. Very honored that you crowned me. It's an honor to be a part of it, and that has a lot to do with how Stand Strong came about.
Absolutely.
Has a lot to do with it.
It was funny because when we had the second fundraiser, she came as our ambassador, obviously, and
they did it to me again.
I'm like, you know what?
I was at that one. Actually.
Yes, I'm like,
we
we can't let her go that easy. And it was funny because I'm like, you know what? Your year's up. Give me back your crown. She's like, no, my crown, no. And I'm like, no, hold on. And it was funny because she had been sick and I hadn't had a chance to go see her. And she was telling me how everybody bought her these teddy bears and she donated them. So I was like, and here's your silly bear. So I threw the bear at her and she's like, oh my gosh, how rude. And then we said, you know what, we love you so much, we want to make you our lifetime queen, so you're going to be able to represent us and do whatever you want with that crown for the rest of your life. So we upgraded her to lifetime queen.
It was amazing because she was standing behind me after she threw the teddy bear.
After I threw the teddy bear,
after she threw the teddy bear at me, she was standing behind me, and I thought I was going to crown my successor.
Successor, correct.
And,
yes.
you know, it would have been an honor to do that. So she went to take, I thought I got to keep the crown. And she went to take the crown off my head, and I remember having this look like,
oh, she did.
Where's my crown?
Like deer in the headlights.
Where's my crown? What
well, it didn't help that I ripped some of your hair out because it got caught on the pin.
Oh, yeah. And she whispered as she put the other crown on, said, don't worry, you get to keep them both.
Yeah, don't cry. You keep them both.
It was quite an honor. Today's show is to honor Sarah's life and Sarah's dreams and hopes. All of us continue. Melissa, Charlie's family continue to make sure that Sarah's dreams and hopes of helping others live on. If you at home, the viewers, are interested in finding out more about the Sarah's Joy Foundation and Charlie Alejandro, if you would, we will have information up on the screen and contact information as to find out more about the Sarah's Joy Foundation. There it is. Thank you very much. At this time, we were talking about Sarah, and we were talking about her family. If you could pull up photo number 3. In this photo, there's a very special story. Once it's up, would you tell the viewers? There it is. Could you tell the viewers about this photo?
This was actually the last birthday Sarah was able to spend with her boys. That was Tony's first birthday and little Eric's third. And they always had the party at our house because we had the big yard. And they had so many friends in Massachusetts that they would come up from Pennsylvania. And it just shows you how fragile life is. Here we are having so much fun, and it was Labor Day. It was Memorial Day weekend. Oh. So we're all having this fun, and to think that less than 10 months later she would be gone. It was just so, that picture is always very special to me because it just personified how, and I knew how sick she was at that time. I knew how much pain she was in. She was on the steroids, and the milestone to this is that I had known Sarah since we were 15. And that morning, her and I had an argument. And it wasn't an argument. It was like I was telling her, just calm down, it'll be fine. And she basically lost it for a split second.
Which was out of character for her.
Out of character for her. And then I remember running into her. I was like, you know what? I said to her mom, just take her out of the house. Go do what you got to do. I'll go to the store. And we ran into the supermarket, and she just started bawling. She's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, you don't know what's going on? And then we found out that they had given her the wrong medication. They had given her 10 times the amount that she should have been on. So that's why she was like, talk about road rage. I mean, it was so bad that like she was literally shaking. So that to me meant so much because that's how she was. We had this argument, and it was over and done with, and next thing we were stuffing our face with cake. And,
right.
And as a matter of fact, I actually kept that dress that she's wearing in there. That's my mom. I love it because to me it still smells like her.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. I'm sure it does.
No. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was actually going to ask to bring up number 2, picture number 2, if you could bring it up.
And this just to me is, it's funny, like I said, don't ever waste any time in life, you never know, because number 2 was actually the very first birthday party they had for Tiki. That was just, he had turned 1, it was this big birthday event, it was everything, and life was good for them. They were married, he had just gotten a promotion at work, a raise at work, and you know, everything was falling into place for them, and a year later, she'd get these devastating news that brought everything crashing down.
Now, the Sarah's Joy Foundation, could you share with our viewers exactly what the mission of the foundation is? When you have fundraisers and you're raising money for specific things, where does it go, and what does the what type of things do the foundation do? I mean, is it if someone wants to honor someone? What is it that you do that would honor that person?
Well, what we do is every year at our fundraiser we have what we call the Warrior Award. which is someone that is either battling cancer or overcoming cancer or has overcome cancer. And we recognize them at our award. And then throughout the year, we pick one of those warriors to be our Warrior of the Month. And then we send them somewhere, whether it's tickets, which Chachi LaPetri from the radio station.
ZLX.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's donated a bunch of tickets to us. Hockey games, whatever they want that we can do, because we are a tiny foundation. We'd love to send them like to Disney World, but we can't.
Right.
Yet.
Exactly.
But that's what we do. And then we have the Fallen Warrior Award, which is for our heroes that didn't make it. And we honor their family there. We recognize them. And we will make a donation in their name to, you know, one of their foundations. We've done stuff where we've donated. We had one gentleman who was so sad. Eddie was at our very first fundraiser, very supportive, and a year later he was gone. And it was that quickly. He got diagnosed and he passed away. So the Sarah Joy Foundation actually made a donation towards his funeral expenses, and he was one of our fallen warriors at that fundraiser.
What a wonderful way to
you know, and sometimes it's
memorialize
the smallest
almost.
thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the smallest. Like this lady called us. She's like, a friend of mine, he's in his last few days, and all he wanted was two things: was either to see his mom, which we weren't able to happen. They happened because he was in hospice and his mom was ill and the logistics. He said, or he wants a seafood dinner. That was it. That's all he wanted, was a seafood dinner. So my brother-in-law, who's a chef, he went over there and he made him the lobster and everything, and he just had the biggest smile on his face. And a couple of days later, he was gone. So it's little things like that that we do. You know,
that make a big difference.
Yep, we recently donated some money to a gentleman who is just going through chemo. So, you know, anything that we can do in that sense.
To make things a little easier.
Yeah, we sent a lady, wanted to be able to go on a retreat with her family, with her daughters, and she didn't have the money, so we paid for her to go. So little things like that, you know, whatever we can do. And literally when I say 95% of what we raise goes back into helping people, that's what we do. We take less than 5%, and that 5% is, you know, to pay for our website. And even then, every month, my husband and I, and even my son, will contribute donations to cover that. Because we can't legally say 100% goes into it, but in our heart, we know that 100% does go into it, because we donate so much to it.
To that, because that is, with everything that's going on lately with certain foundations, it is...
It's nice.
It is amazing.
It's comforting.
Exactly.
It's comforting
to know that the foundation that I represent and put my heart and soul into, and Melissa, who's my dear friend, is by my side through the whole time, and Miss Charlie Alejandro, to be a part of such an organization that truly, truly helps and gives all to where it belongs.
Yes, I agree. Could you actually bring up picture number 4 for me? And this is an event.
Yes, this was our first annual Sarah Joy Foundation road race, which was hilarious because Sarah hated running with a passion. But she was a workout person. She was a certified personal trainer, and she loved to walk. We would walk for hours, and the dogs would look at us like, seriously? You need to go find another hobby. So we had the first annual fundraiser, the road race, and Miss Darlene came down. She sang the national anthem for us, and one of the things that made it very popular was that we had medals for, we divided the age groups, because usually most road races is a 10-year increment. We did 5-year increments, and we also honored the walkers. So the walker ribbons were in pink, because Sarah loved pink, and then the runners were in purple and white.
Oh, very nice.
That was such a fun day.
And that was fun because everybody pitched in. My poor son, Christopher, he actually lives here now. He couldn't contribute financially because obviously he's young, he doesn't make that much money, but he literally was my go-to guy, lugging water and lugging fruit and the water station, so everybody just pitched in so many ways to make it a success.
Because at these events that you're doing, it's not only about contributing, you know, money-wise, but it's if you can't contribute,
and we also
can use volunteers.
And what we did too is we doubled it as a fun day for our volunteers, because we had, you know, all these volunteers in Pennsylvania. So we had free burgers, free hot dogs, and you know, fun activities for the kids and stuff. So
Oh, that's amazing. You know, I would like to. We have a gift for you. we'd like to give you a gift to say thank you for being on our show and taking the time. It is a T-shirt with our logo on it.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I love it.
Thank you for joining us on our show. And
me.
I just, it is an honor, and it is an honor to share Sarah's story.
I know. I wish we had a little bit more time. You know, we could probably do another show and another show and another show and another show
absolutely.
On this. I just quickly would like to bring up number 6, if we could, as we're closing out, because again, it shows the fragility that's in life, that you just don't know. You just don't know if tomorrow you're going to be able to kiss your daughter, kiss your wife, kiss your mom. It's can be heart-wrenching when they go as quick as they go, and even though you thought you had a lot of time with her, it went by quickly.
It did go by quickly.
You know, because in a blink of an eye, it's over.
Especially with the treatments and stuff, because they're in and out and stuff.
I know.
So this was little Tony, and this was when she was getting ready to go in for surgery, to have the double mastectomy, and, you know, hoping that things would work out for the best.
And they didn't.
No.
And they didn't. And Sarah,
Yeah.
You're here with us because I can feel you. You're definitely.
Absolutely. She's rubbing my shoulders. Her wings are behind me. I feel her wings behind me.
Yeah. And,
absolutely. I would like to, if you could pull up photo number 7, please. And Charlie, if you could give us an explanation. You do a lot of fundraising as the Sarah Joy Foundation, such as we talked about the Philadelphia one. Could you explain to the viewers what this photo is?
This is actually a friend of my son's, Eric, Jeff Lake, and Amy Lake. They were the one that spearheaded this. It's the Spartan Run that they had back in August. And for 3 years now, they've done the Jump, Skip for Joy. And and this is you do the Spartan Run, and they did it as part of a fundraiser, and every year it's grown. And last year they raised $1,700 on the one-day event.
Yay!
Nice.
I'll cheer to that.
Yes,
That
and while we're doing this, if we could quickly have their website just come up one more time for all our viewers. I know I would really appreciate it.
And you can also find us on Twitter at Sarah's Joy. We are also on Facebook, the Sarah Joy Foundation. You can find me on Facebook.
Nice.
Charlie Alejandro, so
to learn more about the foundation,
absolutely,
and all that they do, and all that you do, and you know, in honor of Sarah, there it is. Please, viewers at home, I highly recommend that you check out the Sarah's Joy Foundation and learn more about what they offer and how many people they touched, and how many lives they help out in honor of Sarah.
Right. And real quickly, too, my son's friend Lenny and his wife Darlene Lindsay, they're in Springfield, so they're starting a Sarah Joy Foundation charter in Springfield.
Nice. So there'll be a local chapter here.
Yeah, there'll be a local chapter.
Yes.
Nice.
Now I'm definitely drink to that.
Yes.
That's
one
so
more,
close to home.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Nice. Very nice.
We're getting ready to run out of time, but we could do so much more. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Melissa, again, thank you for standing by my side.
Such a joy.
And for you viewers at home, again, thank you for joining us. It is with much love and much respect. We are very grateful that you joined us. And remember to always stand strong. Thank you. Till next time.